All right, welcome back to If My People Bible Reading. This is part 8. We're in the book of Job, and we're in chapter 15, just beginning it. Now it's time for Eliphaz. He's got something to say. Then Eliphaz the Temanite replied, would a wise man answer the empty notions or fill his belly with the hot east wind? Would he argue with useless words, with speeches that have no value? But you even undermine piety and hinder devotion to Elohim. Your sin prompts your mouth. You adopt the tongue of the crafty. Your own mouth condemns you, not mine. Your own lips testify against you. Are you the first man ever born? Were you brought forth before the hills? Do you listen in on Elohim's counsel? Do you limit wisdom to yourself? What do you know that we do not know? What insights do you have that we do not have? The gray-haired and the aged are on our side. Men are older than your father. Are Elohim's consolations not enough for you? Words spoken gently to you? Why has your heart carried you away, and why do your eyes flash, so that you venture rage against Elohim and pour out such words from your mouth? Verse 14. What is man that he could not be pure, or one born of woman, or he could be righteous? If Elohim places no trust in his holy ones, even the heavens are not pure in his eyes. How much less man, who is vile, corrupt, who drinks up evil like water? Listen to me. That's in Yeshua's days, he would say, verily. Listen. Listen to me, and I will explain to you. Let me tell you what I have seen, what wise men have declared, hiding nothing received from their fathers, to whom alone the land was given when no alien passed among them. All his days the wicked man suffers torment, the ruthless through all the years stored up for him. Terrifying sounds fill his ears. When he seems well, marauders attacking. He despairs of escaping the darkness. He is marked for the sword. He wanders about, food for vultures. He knows the day and darkness is at hand. Distress and anguish fill him with terror. They overwhelm him, like a king poised to attack, because he shakes his fist at Elohim and vaunts himself against the Almighty, defiantly charges against him with a thick, strong shield. Though his face is covered with fat and his waist bulges with flesh, he will inhabit ruined towns and houses where no one lives, houses crumbling to rumble. He will no longer be rich, and his wealth will not endure, nor will his possessions spread over the land. He will not escape the darkness. A flame will wither his shoots, and the breath of Elohim's mouth will carry him away. Let him not deceive himself by trusting what is worthless, for he will get nothing in return. Before his time he will be paid in full, and his branches will not flourish. Sounds like the last days. Everything's going to do some house cleaning. This is the comment section here in these last days. How do we apply this? We're just starting the first book. Can we already apply this to the end times? Well, the Bible says it makes it clear the end is revealed in the beginning. Well, this is just a story. Yahweh is telling the story. He put it in man to write it down. Even before he gets to how the world was created, Genesis 1:1. He's telling you that if you hear and obey him and are righteous, you're still going to be cleaned up. You're going to be corrected. You may take nothing with you to to heaven, nothing of this earth. So if things and stuff, and you're wealthy and you're a Christian, you go to church every Sunday for an hour and all those things, and try to wear the helmet of salvation, but you don't read the Bible daily, therefore you're not wearing the full armor of Yahweh. He wants you to understand before he sends his son back to get you, what it's all about. He's going to give you a lesson in life, so hang on. All this rapture stuff flying through the air. Uh, Yeshua says to put on everything and be ready for everything and put on and bear a cross just like he does, bear pain and death and so forth in his name. And yet Christians are taught in the churches that, well, that's you should, but yeah, you're gonna fly away. Woo, you're gonna take off. And all those bad people, they're the ones that are gonna get it. Yeah, they're gonna get it, and Satan's gonna get them, and God's gonna get them, and everybody's gonna get them, but not us. So we have to be prepared fully, but we will suffer nothing. Yahweh loves your soul. That's what He sent His Son for, to save your soul. Now, your body, that's a different story. And just think on these things. Bruce, you don't know what you're talking about. Really? We're going to go through this, and when we get done with this, you tell me I'm wrong. When we get to Revelation 22, tell me I'm wrong. I'd, I'd love to have conversations and sit down with you then. You naysayers. Come on. Let's do it. Let's go at it. This is not the first time I've read this, and read the word from beginning to end over and over again. And every time I pick it up, I pick up something even better and more strong that confirms the word. Okay, so here we have Eliphaz. Now we're in verse 32. Before his time, he will be paid in full, and his branches will not flourish. He will be like a vine stripped from unripe grapes, like an olive tree shedding its blossoms. For the company of the wicked will be barren, and fire will consume the tents of those who love bribes. Comment: replace houses with tents, and fire will consume the houses. And that's not counting California's burned down houses every August and September, which, duh. Yeah, if you've ever lived out there, and I know, people for hundreds of years went out there and built houses 2 feet from the trees because the trees grow straight down. You don't have the roots like you do in the Midwest and the East coming over sideways like maple trees and uprooting your foundations. They don't have foundations there. They just have homes, and they like to build them right by the trees so they can be a part of nature, and bushes all around. They don't do any landscaping, and they don't allow natural fires to happen and keep the earth clean like natural fires are supposed to do. Back in the 30s and 40s, they decided in California and in the West. I lived out there in the 60s, and I can tell you, I know the laws of that. Those laws will. Ansel Adams, if you know who he is, um, and John Muir. You know who John Muir is? Look him up. He was one of the originators of um, of of kind of like a green society. That's what the world's going for. That green society that we all live in. Well, John Muir was the originator of that. And read his own writings. He said people out here, and this is in his days in the 1860s, 70s, and 80s. He said this of California people. Yeah, they come out here and they build in among the trees and everything else. They don't properly take care of things, and they don't allow uh, God's Yahweh's nature fire cleansing method called lightning to burn and keep things clean. And because they don't allow all this, big fires that come along and wipe out hundreds and tens thousands and thousands and millions of acres. It adds up. Why? John Muir is trying to tell you. Uh, and are you listening, you people that belong to the Green Way? No, you're not. You're not even listening to the founder of the Green Way, which is stunningly shows how stupid that most people are, and how they all ended up in California. I don't know. They just kept going west. They came over from Europe because they were greedy little people, and they just kept going and going and going until they ran into the ocean. They got nowhere left to go. So there is the west, or the left coast. Oh goodness, where are we at here? We're at 9 minutes and 7 seconds. Let's keep going. Verse 35: they conceive trouble and give birth to evil. So that means their generation coming after them, are they better people or worse people? Uh-oh, that's what's it reading here. They give birth to evil. Their womb fashions deceit. So in the last days, will people become better, more godly? The whole world goes through revival? Then the millennium? No, that's not what it says. So it comes down to like the about the 100th time you're going to hear this in this word. It comes down to remnant. A remnant will come out of this time. Do I Do I know that I'm one of them? I have the hope of the grace and mercy of Yeshua, the Son, that I can be a bride of the groom so that I can meet and be with the Father one day. Okay, let's go to chapter 16. Then Job. Job gets to say something here. I've heard many things like these. Miserable comforters are you all. Will your long winded speeches never end? Sounds familiar. What ails you that you keep on arguing? I also could speak like you if you were in my place. I could make fine speeches against you and shake my head at you. Or shake my, head at you. I thought I was going to say hand. Today would be shake your hands, point the finger, accusations. Verse 5, but my mouth would encourage you. Comfort from my lips would bring you relief. Yet if I speak, my pain is not relieved, and if I refrain, it does not go away. Surely, Elohim, you have worn me out. You have devastated my entire household. You have bound me. It has become a witness. My gauntness rises up and testifies against me. He's not looking good in the mirror, in other words. Elohim assails me and tears me in his anger and gnashes his teeth at me. My opponent fastens on me his piercing eyes. Men open their mouths to jeer at me. They strike my cheek in scorn and unite together against me. Elohim has turned me over to evil men and thrown me into the clutches of the wicked. All is well with me, but he shattered me. He seized me by the neck and he crushed me. He has made me his target. His archers surround me without a pity. He pierces my kidneys and spills my gall on the ground. Um, Again and again he bursts upon me. He rushes at me like a warrior. He hath sewed sackcloth over my skin and buried my brow in the dust. My face is red and weeping. Deep shadows ring my eyes. Yet my hands have been free of violence and my prayer is pure. O earth, do not cover my blood. May my cry never be laid to rest. Even now, my witnesses in heaven, my advocate is on high. My intercessor is my friend, as my eyes pour out tears to Elohim. On behalf of a man, he pleads with Elohim as a man pleads for his friend. Only a few years will pass before I go on the journey of no return. Now, Job is um, Job is the subject here, um, and sounds familiar to Yeshua on the cross. Chapter 17. My spirit is broken. My days are cut short. The grave awaits me. Surely mockers surround me. My eyes must dwell in their hostility. Give me, Elohim, the pledge you demand. Who else will put up security for me? You have closed their minds to understanding. Therefore, you will not let them triumph. If a man denounces his friends for a reward, the eyes of his children will fail. Elohim has made me a byword to everyone, a man whose face people spit. My eyes have grown dim with grief. My whole frame is but a shadow. Upright men are appalled at this. The innocent are aroused against the wicked. Upright men, um, even upright men are appalled at this. Verse 9. Nevertheless, the righteous will hold to their ways, and those who with clean hands will grow stronger. But come on, all of you, try again. I will not find a wise man among you. My days have passed, my plans are shattered, and so are the desires of my heart. These men turn night into day in the face of darkness. They say, light is near. If the only hope I have, the hope is for the grave. If I spread out my bed in darkness, if I say corruption, you are my father, and the worm my mother or my sister. Where there is hope, where then is my hope? Who can see any hope for me? Will it go down to the gates of death? We will descend together, excuse me, to the dust. We're still in woe, the woes of Job, but we're pointing to in this story, this initial story of the book of Job, a man who everything in life can be tried and true, but only Yeshua, only one way to the Father will end up being the answer. And when the Father steps in later on and starts bringing this all together, we'll understand it more and more as then we then start the book. of Genesis.